For FoxSports.com, I'm Laura Okmin, sitting here with Super Bowl winning coach Dick Vermeil. Do you get reflective? I know you're a sentimental guy.
Yeah,
We know that.
Guy, yeah.
During this time of year, when you're here during the week and having to talk Super Bowl and being around all the festivities, how much do you start reflecting?
Oh, you can't help but reflect. And plus my quarterback's running around here. Kurt Warner's running around right here right now. So, and I was with Isaac Bruce a couple of weeks ago for a whole week coaching an all-star game. You can't help but reflect back, but it's amazing. It seems like it was yesterday, and it was 12 years ago.
When you talk to people about favorite Super Bowls, that one comes up so much.
I think it's one of the top games ever.
So when we say that and people say my favorite Super Bowl and have our memories from the game, what's yours?
Well, I think about Isaac Bruce touchdown pass. I think about, the tackle on the 1 foot line at the end of the game. But even more so, I think about the journey, the 3 years of work that our entire organization, including your husband, the time we put in to build that football team. So it was, it put itself in a position to be in a game of this magnitude and then play well enough to win it. So the whole journey is actually more enjoyable and demands more of my time now in thinking about the whole thing than the game itself.
When you see Kurt running around here, when you spend time with Isaac, how much of the conversation still goes back to that 99 season?
A little. Most of it, they tease me about how hard we worked my first 2 years there.
And
we
they
got
did.
after them good. Yeah, and they rolled their eyes, but it all paid off. We talk about that, and we talk about the personal times that we shared together because, I've always really gotten to know my players as people. I've always felt that I didn't coach football. I coach people that play football. And today, that's the great part because I get to enjoy those relationships even though I'm not coaching.
Jeff Fisher said he didn't watch that game until last season, and he had to because he was sitting down with NFL Films. That was the only reason. Yeah. As a winner of the Super Bowl, do you watch it? When's the last time you saw it? No, you don't really either? When's the last time you saw it?
I have never been a guy that likes to go back and see myself on television or read an article that I was interviewed in. Maybe it's my own insecurities. And sometimes I think, well, maybe it isn't really true that the score isn't going to be what I think it's going to be at the end of the tape. I don't know. I have watched the Super Bowl, but not in great detail.
We worry so much about guys sometimes after retirement, hoping that they're going to find their stride, they're going to find their happiness. I don't worry about you for a second, considering what you're doing post-retirement, that too. I'm just curious if you want to just talk about life on the vineyard and your winery, and I don't even know how to ask a question except well done, bravo, how wonderful.
Well, thank you. I was born in the north end of the Napa Valley, Calistoga, California, in my great-grandfather's old home that went into the Napa Valley to be in the wine business and actually owned a portion of the vineyard where our grapes come from today. We're involved with the Frediani Vineyard. It's a 170-acre vineyard in Calistoga. We don't own it. I'm emotionally attached to it. The lady that owns it, 90 years old, Mrs. Frediani, was my babysitter when I was born 75 years ago.
That's wonderful.
And her daughter runs our tasting room, the Vermeil Tasting Room in Calistoga. Her son-in-law is our partner and our winemaker at On the Edge Winery. So it's a very, very small family group wine business, and we're having fun with it. I think this year we're going to maybe break even, and our tasting room is making money, and we're not in it to try to make a lot of money. We're in it to make good wine and break even.